this was originally supposed to be something completely different, but I happened to have the speedrun on the back burner, and seeing how the first PersonaQ2 trailer just came out, I figured I should just use it. Hello, this is Neni, and I'm now going to talk about the first PersonaQ2 trailer that just premiered during the latest broadcast of the Persona 5 anime, and what I thought about it, and a little bit about what is actually in it, because since I speak Japanese, I might know a little bit more about that than some of the people watching right now. So, here we go. Before we do anything else, the speedrun I'm doing here is a Patreon request from Lind Dakota Creatic. As you may know, on Patreon you can support your favorite creators, and on my Patreon you have the option to choose between getting special perks depending on how much you donate to me every month. Lind's tier included the ability to have me design a special keychain just for you and mail it to you at the end of the month. And what Lind requested was basically a keychain that has the Persona 5 protagonist taking the role of the fool on the Fool Arcana from Persona 4 and Persona 3. As you may have noticed, I accidentally used the wrong card when I did the initial design, but I later corrected this, and as an excuse for using the wrong initial design, I am actually sending Lind both versions of the keychain, which means Lind gets both the design with the Persona 5 card and the Persona 3 card. So yeah, if you're also interested in having me draw you your own keychain, or even just having you draw something in general and having the drawing show up on this channel as a speed draw while I talk over it with specific topics, just head over to Patreon and feel free to support me. I also do commissions without Patreon. You just need to send me a mail and I'll calculate how I'll do it. Anyway, let's get to the main topic now. Firstly, a little bit on my general opinion regarding PersonaQ2. It's actually the Persona product I've been looking forward to most for quite a while now, which may be because it includes Persona 4, and you may call me a deluded fangirl now. Like, really now, Neni? Really? Haven't we had enough Yuna Ukami already? Do we really not need more of this ugly yellow and bear jokes? And I'm telling you, yes. Yes, I do need this. Because even if it's just my subjective opinion, Persona 4 is still my favorite game in the series. And as much as I do love the other games, it's just really great to see these characters again. Maybe, I don't know, I know it hasn't technically been that long yet, but it's just nice to know they're still around and outside of badly written cross-tag battle dialogue. Oh my god, what the hell was that? Anyway, I'm just generally really psyched to see them again. On the other hand, PersonaQ2 was always something that was included some trepidation for me, because Persona Q already had an issue that I know well from certain other games as well. For example, from some later games in the Ace Attorney series, especially the investigation spin-offs. And I've chosen to call this problem too many characters on screen syndrome. And this is something Persona Q suffered from very immensely. Even the writer, Azusa Kido, admitted that the game suffered from it, and that's basically when you have too many characters on screen at the same time, making them all distinct and making them all stand out in their own way becomes progressively harder, and most writers will start relying on character stereotypes and quirks and whatever to just give the characters a reason to talk, even when there isn't really a reason to talk. And that's something that stood out really badly in Persona Q, to the point that a lot of fans complained about it, you know, with Chie constantly talking about meat, the Mystery Food X stuff being totally overdrawn, Teddy acting like an absolute brat, Akihiko having no topic to talk about except for protein. It's stuff like this that made me really nervous about PersonaQ2 from the beginning, because if they're really going to do this, and I knew they were going to do it with Persona 3, 4, and 5, because let's face it, no matter if they left out one of those three, there would be a sizable portion of fans rebelling against them, no matter which of them they left out. And the other thing is, I mean, of course, there's also Persona 1 and Persona 2, but those are more obscure compared to Persona 3 and Persona 4, and Persona 5, of course, so the danger is not as big. But it still is a big risk, because if they do it in the same format as they did it with Persona Q, the first one, they'll have this huge party of characters traveling around constantly together, 20 characters, almost 30 characters this time. and constantly forced to interact with each other, and it's going to result in even bigger too many characters on screen syndrome than Persona Q had. And that's actually something that I'm very afraid of, and I hope they find a way to solve this issue. The best way to solve this issue is having the cast split up into smaller groups that travel around, not break them up by game, because we don't want to see the same characters interacting with each other each time, but just having them split up by search parties going into different areas and whatever, so you only have a limited number of characters on screen at any given time. That would probably be the best way to avoid the big issues that could come about with the concept of this game. That said, I actually already see a way they could achieve this with what we know about the game so far, but in order to talk about this, let's get into the trailer. The trailer begins with an image of a new girl saying the following sentence in Japanese. "Friends? A team? I don't know what that means." So she uses the word nakama, which can mean both friends or team. It's about a group that holds together, and it usually refers to friends, but it can also refer to co-workers or anybody who's a kindred spirit of yours, and as long as it's a group, it's nakama. So basically, she seems to not understand the concept of friendship is what this is about. And then we get further into the trailer, we see a greeting, which interestingly is written with both hiragana and katakana used interchangeably within the same word, which is very unusual. It gives off a very creepy vibe, and it makes this writing look as if it was written with the caps lock alternating from being turned on and being turned off. So it's like when you see Tumblr users just capitalizing random letters for no good reason in the middle of words. That is what this looks like. And the text we have here is read out on screen by a robotic voice, and it reads, "Thank you for visiting Toe Cinema today. Well then, let us proceed with our showing." Toe Cinema is written with a kanji for toe that is the second part of honto, which is the word for reality in Japanese. As for what it means, it's kind of unclear. As I said, it can stand for reality, it can point out a direction or something. I think it is supposed to be some kind of pun on reality, so because as we see in the trailer, the movies that the characters watch in the showrooms of the cinema end up becoming the dungeons. Which is interesting because whatever this in-between world is that they're stuck in now, it seems that in this in-between world, emotions seem to manifest as movies that are being shown to the characters and that suck them in, and they end in these mini-worlds that serve as the game's dungeons. And this could actually be a good way to separate the characters. What if the movies have that movie theaters have like a limited capacity and only certain characters can go into certain movies at any given time, and you have to, well, this would also motivate people to be more creative with how they put their party together, because at some points you might be limited in what characters you can use. I think this could really play very much into, be an advantage for the writers writing the game. So, well, it's already written, but let's see what they do with it. It seems really cool. The new character is interesting too. The trailer proceeds with the new girl saying the following sentence. "There is a movie here that I must see." So we already have the established motive of this girl. She definitely needs to see this movie, come what may. It seems like it's her reason to tour, a necessity. Given this is Persona, I assume she has amnesia, and the movies are her memories somehow, and this last movie reveals her memories to her. But that's just a theory of mine. It's just that it seems like the most likely right now, given what Persona tends to do with these sorts of new characters. The next thing we see is like Anne in her Phantom Thief outfit, which implies that the Phantom Thieves are going to be in the Phantom Thief outfits in the dungeons, which means that the cognition principle is in play, which means because of how they perceive Persona use, the Persona 5 characters need to be in the Persona 5 Phantom Thief outfits in order to use their personas, and the Persona 3 characters probably need to use their evokers to summon the personas, because that's how the cognition principle works. As long as their brains consider it a given, it will be reality, so the cognition principle probably. What we also see is that there are still the 5-person parties with the same lineup as in Persona Q. The UI has been refined and it looks really, really sleek this time, and I'm really looking forward to playing with that. We also see that Teddy is in the game, and that's very important because I love Teddy. He's my main bear. I just hope that this time he's taken from a slightly less obnoxious period in his life. It would be nice if this time it was from like after they defeat Adachi, then he would be like at peak non-obnoxious. Please tell me it's something like that, like maybe after the defeat is Izanami even. That way we can have like all the character development and none of the Teddy whining about Koromaru. Like I hope that they keep all the they get back like all the memories from Persona Q while they're there, because I assume they're still going to be like in a time void. And when they are outside of time, then there's no harm in them remembering things that happened outside of time. So it would be cool if they regained the memories for this game alone. And actually, we're really happy to see each other again. I actually really liked the developing dynamic between a lot of the characters from Persona 3 and Persona 4. Like, as I mentioned, like Koromaru and Teddy being like best buddies by the end of the game. I would like to see them build on that, and then instead maybe have Koromaru and Teddy have like some sort of rivalry with Morgana because he's a cat and he's a mascot, and like maybe Teddy and Koromaru forming like this alliance of defeat, take down with the cat, but in the end, of course, they're a trio and they do like comedy routines, something like that. It would be amazing. I'm looking forward to that. Then next thing we have like some voice lines by the protagonists. First is Yu. Yu says the following: "If that's how it's gonna be, then we can stop this conversation right here." And then he attacks Ren. So apparently at some point in the game, Ren and Yu are going to have a disagreement and start fighting over it, which seems pretty intense. And actually this ties into something I said when Persona 5 came out. Basically that the vigilante mindset of the Phantom Thieves doesn't gel very well with the mindset of the investigation team, and I suspect that this might play into why Yu ends up fighting with Ren. And then Makoto says the following: "Do you know anything about us?" I don't know who he might be saying that to. It's maybe he's saying it to you. This might be when they actually realize that they've regained the memories of Persona Q, so that might tie into this. And finally we have a sentence by Ren. Ren says, "I shall steal it away with this power. Azane!" So yeah, this is just his Persona summoning tagline. Nothing too special about Ren here. Then we have a written line which says, "Welcome to Labyrinth, the world of movies," in Japanese, Labyrinth and World of Movies are written above each other. This is a famous trick with using furigana. It would take a long time to explain, but basically they're implying that Labyrinth is synonymous with World of Movies in this game, which makes sense because, as I said, the movies are going to be the dungeons. The title of the game is Persona Q2 New Cinema Labyrinth. I don't know what the new stands for. I guess Toe Cinema will be translated as New Cinema in the game. I think it will probably make more sense once we see how it all shakes out. I'm really interested in this. And finally, we got the big moment that you guys are all very excited about. I've seen the memes, I've seen the Twitter posts. Female main character from Persona 3 steps on screen with her naginata in a very triumphant cutscene, and she speaks the words, "I am him, and he's me?" So yeah, she definitely gets to meet the Persona 3 male protagonist in this, which is pretty awesome. So as for all of you who claimed she's not canon, I rejoice now and you don't rejoice, because what I said all along is, it's not that she's not canon, she exists in an alternate timeline. And this game pretty much confirms this. So this game does what I said they should already have done with Persona Q, and pretty much just has the timelines mix with each other. Which is a pretty cool thing, because now we can see how she interacts with like the different versions of her team, and how everybody interacts with her, and especially seeing her interact with the male main character will be really cool. And also the fact that I really hope that Laura Bailey is coming back for this game, and I want to see, like, not only will we have double Yuri Lowenthal, but now we will also have double Laura Bailey and double Matthew Mercer. Everybody talks to themselves. It's fun for the whole family. So yeah, I'm pretty happy that they are finally going with the multiple timelines thing. This was something that was an option all along, and it was kind of annoying. They never made use of it until now, and now it's finally happening. Of course, the Persona 1 and Persona 2 fans will be sad, and honestly, it is a shame, but even more characters would be lethal, so I'm kind of glad, kind of sad. But at the same time, I'm definitely going to pre-order this game, just because, as I've said, I miss the Persona 4 characters. I may be brainwashed or whatever you think it is. I may be a mindless fangirl. I don't know. I'm just glad to see them again. I'm glad to play it. I will talk about it when I play it, definitely. Well, that's my opinion on this. This is what I see in this trailer. Yeah, that's it for me for now. I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed me drawing this thing here. Hope you think it's pretty enough to give to someone as a keychain, because that's what it's gonna be. If you like this video, give it a like. Talk to me in the comments, tell me what you think about PersonaQ2. And if you want to support me, there's a Patreon link on screen right now. Use it if you really want me to do more stuff, and if you want me to draw something for you. Well then, see you guys later. Bye bye!